you in the dealer side of the sport, you on the dealer side of the industry, and having been a racer and a competitor and not so much the commercial side of it. Now you're here. Now you're on the other side. And I was curious as to your take, having seen your experience over 30 years plus, and going, how is the industry and then the product change? And I guess effectively, ultimately it would boil down to how has the audience, the consumer audience of jet skiing changed? I mean, what have you witnessed?
Everything's so big now.
Yes.
Yes, everything's big. And it's change-wise, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, just everything's big. Like the skis are big, they're fast. And the runabout, that's what I don't like, is the runabout thing.
Yeah.
Is a stand-up, and I'll say this, and I've said it to so many people, getting on a stand-up, you can ride it, right? It's easy to ride for most people. But to go fast on a stand-up is really freaking hard. To go fast on a runabout that you can get on a Kaza-style seat, lock yourself in, and just sit there and, do this. Like, there's nothing. I got on that thing in Thailand, and, I'm going to brag for a minute. After riding it for like 20 minutes and kicked the crap out of those guys in Thailand like 3 years ago. You know why? Because none of them can ride in the surf. None of them are stand-up riders. And all they know how to do is go out of turn and go like this. They point and shoot. There's no skill involved, and it's all, speed. So you put a good rider like Dustin Farthing on it, myself, Nicholas, guys like that who came from stand-ups or came from that, OG type of riding, you can't mess with them. Dustin proved it this year going to Thailand. He didn't win, but he proved that. Because they have, there's a lot of guys with probably faster skis, or, it's always like the Aqua X. Anybody can go straight and pin the throttle, but to go fast on a runabout, or faster than the rest of the field, that's where the rider comes in.
Right. And the hard thing, and this has kind of been a talking point, and I appreciate you talking candidly about this, was so much of modern runabouts kind of does the work for the rider. And it is so cushioned, and it is so insulated, and it is so capable that it doesn't require the athleticism or the skill set or the talent, as much as those three things are necessary to be a champion runabout racer. Now, stand-up racing is like what I was saying about surf racing. Surf racing, even if all skis were equal, you're going to shake out half the field because it requires an ability, an athleticism, a skill set, the ability to read the water and read waves and throttle control and being all, and do that kind of dance. And it's interesting because I really think, again, going back to it, is that surf racing just absolutely shakes the men from the boys. But then to do it on a stand-up even more complicates it.
Correct.
Now they don't do big runabout racing in surf like they do stand-up racing in surf. They put those guys out further out. But that all being said, I want to touch on what you said about, Tyron's accident. I don't attribute to the speed or the skis or even the course. It was a corner. He had to get off, and it was a tight pack, and it was an unfortunate accident. But then you consider I think it was Song's death out in Thailand. He was going 90 miles an hour and ejected.
Yeah.
And, it's like, was the ski going too fast? Was the track a poorly, I think it was a straightaway. He wasn't even in an apex of a turn. It was just that the ski went 1, 2, 3 and turned, and his body went the other way. I mean, he was dead before he hit the water. And so in that conversation, it's like, okay, well, stand-up racing is different. The course is different. The competitiveness is different. The skill set is different. And then
you have to be an athlete. You have to be an athlete. You don't have 100%. To be an athlete. Like when I went to the Bahamas and raced, like this past November, I wasn't an athlete. I came from the couch. I did some working out, a couple of weeks beforehand. But it just goes to show you, with skill, you can overcome that. We had an unfortunate breakdown while we were in the lead, about to win the championship. But, I was able to just basically come off the couch and go racing.
Right. Well, that's muscle memory.
To do that on a stand-up, like I got on a stand-up yesterday and put in a couple of fast laps, but, as good as I once was, but,
I get
that type of stuff.
Right, so,
right. So it's the stand-up stuff, and I know some, from Korea, when I've went to Thailand, he goes to he used to go to the Freedom House with Freedom Motorsports in Thailand, race for the same team. So I got to know him really well. He was a great,
good. Okay.
Great. He came over to when I lived in Havasu. I think he came to my house before. We hung out. He was good friends with a couple Japanese guys I knew. So he was a great man. Good. Sad that he just had a baby. Yeah. And he was in good shape. But some of the guys I've seen from other countries coming and racing like this endurance stuff, it's you go back to that the Mark Hahn, right? I don't think that guy was in the greatest of shape.
No.
And, but in our sport, they let these guys go out who are not in great shape. There's really no, like, when have you ever been to a race and had someone ask, for your physical, right? No. I need to see a physical before you race. Never. Never. You know what I had to provide for my son to race in Europe? A sports physical.
Really?
He's got insurance. He's got insurance as a racer. The association pays insurance. So with the association fee, he's insured for any track he rides on in Spain, whether it's practice or racing, if he gets injured. And and they take school serious. Like,
okay, all right.
If I had to prove that he's done with his school, for him to practice this week, I had to prove that he's done with school and that he's passed, and he's, because kids are not allowed to take off school days to go practicing.
Wow. All right. Huh. Well, then you're making a really salient point. The problem is that it's like, if you can pay the entry fee and you can fog a mirror, then you're out on the field in most runabout racing.
Yep.
So
but you can't fake it on a stand-up.
Well, that's the thing. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out. This clip was taken from our weekly podcast that we record here every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch the whole video, you can go to the Watercraft Journal's YouTube channel, go to playlists, and then click on live sessions. You're going to see it there. Otherwise, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow. And again, thanks again for watching our videos, and we hope to see you soon.